Hi guys, welcome back to the next part of the series. Today we're going to continue with this as I'm calling it the smooth method, which is a method that we're going to be using to capture a little bit more detail out of this one. So this is the final result of the element, and as you can see, it looks very nice. Like we are properly capturing the silhouette of all of the different parts of the rock. However, we only have 560 triangles. It's too little, and I know that we're going to have double that amount when we do the mirror, but even then, 1,000 triangles for this handle, which is a very important part of the thing, is, I would say, a little bit low. So I'm going to delete these things right here, the modifiers, and I'm going to go to the top view first. I'm going to go, of course, to edit mode, wireframe, and we're going to select the whole edge loop right here. Actually, we can go to this edge loop right here, which should be a full edge loop. And I'm going to say scale x0, and then turn on our increment scale, and then I'm going to say a gx, and that's going to, or should snap it perfectly to the x-axis. Perfect. Once we have that, we can go to the modifiers, and we can add a mirror modifier. And as we can see right here, we should have our very nice mirror effect on both sides. So again, 1,000 triangles, it's very little, to be honest, for something like this. And we can definitely make this a little bit more interesting. So here's the trick. We are just going to do a smooth modifier. So if we do subdivision modifier, as you can see, we've jumped from 1,000 triangles to 4,000 because every time we subdivide, it's roughly 4 times the same amount. But this is also going to give us a way better effect on the silhouette of the object, which is very important. So instead of having this very jaggedy silhouette that we have, look at this. We now have this very clean silhouette. And not only that, this subdivision trick, it's a great way to get rid of triangles because when you subdivide, every single triangle, as you can see right here, becomes like squares. So this is going to work perfectly fine for our element. However, we do have a problem. The problem that we have is that even though this looks very nice, it now looks very soft compared to the hard edges that we have on our element. So I'm going to apply this so that the element is completely done. And what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in the other element, the hammer, or the handle. Where is it? There we go. So we're going to grab this guy, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a shrink wrap technique. So very easily, we just grab our low poly, add the modifier, and we're going to add a shrink wrap, and we're going to, of course, select the cylinder from the hammer. And as you can see, what's going to happen now, let me turn off the cylinder, is the faces of the element will be pushed a little bit closer to the original surface of the element. So look at the difference between no shrink wrap and the shrink wrap. Quite the change, right? Like we really bring out the silhouette of the element, which is what we want. And if we shade this smooth, there we go, we're pretty much gonna have exactly what we're looking for. So 4,000 faces, it might be a little bit too much. It's pretty much like the same amount that we have for all of the other pieces, but this is going to allow us to have a really nice and clean bake. And not only that, but we're going to have a very clean silhouette as well. So it's not going to look as jaggedy as it looked when it was only 1,000 polygons smaller, right? Now, this is another thing that's I wanted to mention in this video. Poly count, people worry too much about poly count, but it's a lot easier to bring a high poly count object such as this one down to a workable level in case we went a little bit too far into the high poly realm than it is to bring a low poly element all the way back to a high poly effect. So in my personal experience, it's better if you go a little bit above what they need, and if you need to downsize or down res, you can just start eliminating some edge loops, like literally just go into let's first of all, let's apply this. There we go. So we go into this, guys, and if we go into edge mode, we literally just grab one of these edges, for instance, and we just press X and dissolve the edges, and that already is saving us quite a bit of faces. So it's a lot easier to reduce faces that we might not need than it is to later on add the elements that we might indeed need. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's just do some final cleanup here. So this one's gonna be called rock handle underscore low, and we bring it onto the low section. And this one was the cylinder, I believe. Was it this one? Yep. So the cylinder, we're going to call this rock handle underscore high. And this one's going to go into the high polys. Make sure that it's the exact same name, exact same naming convention and everything. And if we take a look at our low polys, look at this. We are only at 10,000 triangles, and look at how many pieces we already have. So we are just missing very few pieces. And before we jump towards them, I just want to give you a quick overview of how we're going to be doing them. So these are the pieces that we're missing. These two guys, I mean, come on, super simple, right? Like we can do them manually. I think I'm going to do them manually with Retopo Flow to get a nicer, cleaner effect, especially because we have some strong silhouettes right here. This one's also very easy. So in the next one, we're going to be doing these 3 pieces, and then we're just going to be missing these 2 pieces or 3 pieces right here. Something interesting is going to happen here. This guy and this guy, we're actually going to join them together. They're going to be a single mesh because we want this like interaction that we have here on the elements to be part of the single bake. Instead of having to do each individual phase, we're just going to keep this like flat, and all of this is going to be baked down in an element. And finally, this piece right here, I mean, it's just a cube, right? So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to stop the video right here. And in the next one, we're going to do this handles over here. So hang on tight, and let's go to the next one.